Good morning, Deer Park High School. Today is Wednesday, December 5th, 2018. I'm Jenna Smith.
And I'm Emmanuel Perez. Today, we look at how anxiety is growing amongst teenagers and ways to help cope with it. But first, your weekly news.
Deer Park FFA is hosting its annual Christmas in the Barn event from 5:30 to 9 p.m. this Saturday, December 8th. Admission is 3 non-perishable food items which will be collected and donated to the Deer Park Food Bank. Parking is at the Houston Safety Council, and the Polar Express will transport you to the barn and back. They'll have carnival games, photos with Santa on a tractor, story time with Mrs. Claus, crafts, train rides, and an awesome Christmas light display. We hope to see everyone there.
Speaking of Christmas, next Monday, December 10th, Deer Park High School's choir is having a Christmas concert. All choirs will be performing and will start at 7:30 p.m. The show is free, so come enjoy a night of Christmas spirit.
With the holidays and exams just around the corner, anxiety is highest around this time of year. Caitlin Medina and Mandy Gamble take an in-depth look at how anxiety affects our students and ways to cope with it.
At one point or another, everybody has experienced the sensation of being nervous. It's normal to be nervous when you're about to speak to a large crowd or bring bad news to a loved one. But the feeling of nervousness does not equal anxiety. And if it doesn't, what is anxiety?
Anxiety is a constant pattern of worry, muscle tension, stress, and feeling overwhelmed. Like there's a sense that something bad or terrible is about to happen at all times.
Being overwhelmed by, I guess, the work at certain times, not preparing for class, and assignments that maybe are over a couple weeks. They kind of wait till the last minute, and then on the day of the test or the essay, it can kind of overwhelm them, I think.
An average teenager will experience high levels of anxiety when it regards to social matters, whether that means social media or physical interactions, but it doesn't stop there.
When we have high levels of stress, brain function diminishes, specifically in the prefrontal cortex, and that's the area that's in charge of problem solving, creativity, planning for the future. So you'll start to see things like procrastination happen all the time. You start to see people who normally could focus just fine suddenly have issues with they can't stay focused, they're making small, silly mistakes on assignments, they have challenges completing things on time, and then of course the other stuff outside of school, which is they're not sleeping well, they're not eating enough, they're getting easily frustrated.
Too much stress is detrimental to any student. Trying to be perfect in every aspect creates detrimental levels of anxiety, but that doesn't mean all stress is bad. Being challenged can be healthy and could academically help you discover things about yourself that you didn't know before, though you have to stay clear of procrastination.
And people who push it off are much more filled with stress than the people who break it in day by day and get it done. That usually applies also to how you take stressful classes or how you tackle stressful things in school. It's definitely a hard situation for any student. It's about really, you have to ask yourself, what am I getting out of this class and what I want for myself in the future.
Of course, you can't always expect students to stay away from these anxiety triggers. At least once a day, an average high schooler will feel overwhelmed by work or responsibilities, but they shouldn't be going at it alone and should find ways to help them cope. But in order for help to be given, students have to ask for it.
Everyone at the school is more than willing to help students in that situation, but I guess his unwillingness to talk about it is one of the biggest issues. They kind of sit there and suffer in silence, and it makes it worse, and I think every teacher at the school would help them manage their time so they wouldn't be in that situation, even with multiple APs.
I think a lot of the research is starting to reflect that we have more anxious teenagers than we did probably 20 years ago. I cannot emphasize the importance of nutrition and exercise. Do not keep it to yourself. Do not hold it all in. Find somebody you can bounce ideas off of. Don't wait until it's too late. And one of the things that we see a lot with people in general with anxiety is that they're terrible at being in tune with their body. They're so in tune with the world around them and how the world around them is affecting them, they don't realize that there's small signs that they're beginning to show that they're under stress. They don't recognize it until their stress level is not at a 2 or 3, it's at a level 10.
Those tricks sure will come in handy with finals coming up. Remember, to be exempt, all your fees and fines have to be paid by this Friday, December 7th. You need to have 3 or fewer absences, an 80 or above semester average, no more than 3 days of ISS, and no DAEP. Good luck, guys!
In any case, if you guys are stressing about finals already, take the weekend off and come see a show. This Friday, the Deer Park Theater Department will be performing their new play, Dearly Departed, in the Black Box. The show times are Friday at 7 and Saturday and Sunday at 3. Tickets are $10 and kids 3 and under are free. Come out to see this comedy and support our theater students.
And lastly, the state funeral for former President George H.W. Bush was held this morning in Washington. He passed away at the age of 94 last Friday. Not only did he serve as our 41st president, but he also served as congressman, ambassador to China, director of the CIA, and vice president. He made a huge impact on the United States, and his legacy will never be forgotten.
Well, that's it for this week. From all of us here at Deer Network, I'm Emmanuel Perez.
And I'm Jenna Smith, wishing you an amazing day and a marvelous rest of the week.
And go Deer!